Namaskar students and welcome. In this video, we are going to continue with part 3 of lesson number 1, the living world adaptations and classifications from 7th science. So let's continue. This picture was shown in the earlier videos also children. This picture really speaks a million words. Always think before you are giving any return gift. Now, let's see the adaptation in animals. Aquatic adaptation. How do the aquatic animals adapt themselves? Fish, duck. These are the aquatic animals, a few of them. How does the fish adapt itself? It is having gills for breathing. It is having fins. See the fins for moving, just like our hands and legs. And it is having scales on its body. What are the adaptations of duck? It is having waxy feathers, children. Water cannot withstand on it. Water falls down because of the waxy feathers. It is having webbed feet. Children, see the webbed feet. With the help of the webbed feet, it is able to swim nicely in water. So these are a few adaptations of aquatic animals. Now, let us see the adaptation in forest and grassland animals. How do the animals of forest and grassland adapt themselves? See the lion, see the deer, and see the black buck. This is a carnivorous animal, children, and these are herbivorous animals. Now, what are their adaptations? Let us see. A lion is having padded paws with claws. Children, if you have seen the paws of cats, they are also very soft. Even these lions belong to the big cats family. So their paws are so soft that when they are moving, they do not make any noise. Sharp and pointed canine teeth. The teeth are very sharp. So they are able to eat the prey. Eyes in front. Eyes are in front. They are not on side. So they can focus on the prey. They are having many more adaptation, children, with their digestive system and many more adaptations. These are a few ones. What are the adaptations, deer and blackbuck? Both of them have to protect themselves. Long and strong. Both of them are having long and strong legs to run. Eyes on sides. They are having eyes on both the sides. So they have a wider vision. Who is coming from here? Who is coming from here? They should be able to see properly and protect themselves. Long ears to hear any sound. So these are the adaptations of forest and grassland animals. Now let us see the adaptation in desert animals. This is a camel, children. This one is a millipede. It is having a lot of legs. And this one is a spider. What adaptation a camel is having? First of all, it is having a hump, children, to protect the food. We all know it very well. Next, it is having folded nostrils. There are folds near the nostrils. So the sand does not go inside his nose. And long thick eyelashes. Even the eyelashes are protected so that the sand doesn't go into the eyes. These two, millipede and spider, both are nocturnal creatures. They come out only in the night time. Now, let us see the adaptation in snowy region. What are the adaptations in snowy region? This is a yak, children. A yak. It looks very much similar to a cow, but it is having a lot of hair, a lot of fur. And this is a snow leopard. See its jump. How do they survive in the cold climate? They have a thick coat and fat under their skin. That's why they are able to protect themselves from the cold. Even the dogs, children, Siberian Huskies, Malamutes, they are also having a thick coat because they live in cold climate. Now, let us see the aerial adaptation. Those who live in air, especially the birds. This is an eagle. And these are sparrows. Two sparrows there. Cute ones. See the shape of their body, children. We have taken the same inspiration. See the body of the birds. We have taken the same inspiration for making aeroplanes. Even aeroplanes are having a similar body shape, if you have observed carefully. Spindle-shaped body for air resistance. They cut down the air resistance and so they are easily able to fly in air. So the spindle shape of the body helps them a lot in aerial adaptation. Next one is the adaptation in reptiles. How do the reptiles adapt themselves? This is a lizard, children. Most of us don't like it. And a snake. Even this is not liked by many. Usually, the creatures from the reptile family are not so much loved. See this lizard. They have clawed toes and thin soles. They have very thin soles. So they are able to move easily by sticking on the wall. So they don't fall from the wall, children. And the snake is having different kind of adaptation. It is moving its muscles and going forward. Even lizard is using its muscles, children. Creepers. These are creepers. Next, now we are seeing the adaptation for food in animals. See the woodpecker. It is having a very sharp and pointed beak. Woodpecker. This is a toucan. Beautiful. This one is also beautiful. And a kingfisher. See the fish. He is very happy now. He has got food. The woodpecker is having pointed beak for drilling and making its house. Toucan. Why is he having such a big beak? For picking fruit. And this one is having a very pointed beak. Long beak. To pick fish, to catch fishes. Now children, let us see the adaptation for food in animals. There is one table on page number 7 of your textbook. So we are seeing this table also. Adaptation, animal and use of adaptation. These are the answers for your questions, children. Sharp teeth. Who is having a sharp teeth? Lion, tiger. Why? To tear the flesh. Next adaptation, long and pointed beak. Who is having long and pointed beak? Kingfisher, crane. Why? To pick up fish from water. Next one, short beak. Who are having short beak? Sparrow and robin. They pick up seeds and worms. So they need a short beak. Long and sticky tongue. Giraffe and chameleon. All know chameleon, but nobody knows giraffe, children. Very few children know. Why they have long and sticky tongue? To eat leaves or catch insects. Giraffe is going to eat leaves and chameleon is going to eat insects. Long neck. Who is having a long neck? Giraffe and crane. Why? To eat leaves or catch fish. Giraffe is eating leaves and crane is catching fish.
Children, there's one beautiful property which the animals show in order to protect themselves. They camouflage with the surroundings. See the leopard, children? Can you spot this lizard? And if you tell me where's the grasshopper, you have got a very good eyesight. So children, what is camouflage? Camouflage means blending with the surroundings to protect themselves.
Let us see the Darwin's theory of evolution now. What is the Darwin's theory of evolution? First, survival of the fittest. Only those who are the fit ones are going to survive according to Darwin's theory of evolution. The ones who are not strong are not going to survive. Next, natural selection. Nature selects the best and nature selects the strongest one. The one who is strongest is going to live and survive. These are the main theories of Charles Darwin. See the picture of Charles Darwin. Next one is binomial nomenclature by Carolus Linnaeus. Or we can call him Carl Linnaeus also, children. In your textbook, Carl Linnaeus is mentioned. This is the picture of Carl Linnaeus. He gave us the binomial nomenclature. The group formation of all the living things was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Now, what is binomial nomenclature, children? The binomial nomenclature are the last two parts of the group taken, genus and species. Normally, the genus name is written by using first letter capital and the second half is written in small letters and. Children, these are a few scientific names also called as binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature is also called as scientific name. So these are a few scientific names of the examples given apart from your textbook. Let's see them. Always remember a few basic rules. The first letter is always capital and the scientific name is always written in italics. Never in normal words. Always in italics. And the second half of the name, the species name, always starts with a small letter. This letter is capital, this letter is always small. And this is always written in italics. Always remember. Elephant, Asian elephant, not the African one, is called as Elephas maximus. Tulsi, Indian holy basil, is called as Ocimum tenuiflorum. Black pepper. It's a spice we are using, children. It is called as Piper nigrum. Lion is called as Panthera leo. Tiger is called Panthera tigris, children. Horse is called as Equus caballus. And mango is called as Magnifiera indica because it grows in India. So children, we complete our lesson till here. I hope that you all have understood everything. So we finish our video till here and thank you for watching.